Welcome to Mentors.
Welcome, Jeremiah Skiba.
Hi, good to be here.
Yeah, I'm happy to have time with you today. So, just looking back where we first met, it was you walked into Sky Pony Gallery. At the time,
Yeah,
you were with your mom, and you had this incredible aura around you, and I had to get to know you. So, we started talking, and I found out that you're a musician, and so I didn't know where your life was going to go, but I knew you were going to make something out of it. You were pretty young at the time, and it and you're still young, but and you have a lot to go. But you're doing a great job with Skiba News Nation, and it's a great show. I love it, and I watch it all the time. So I want to
appreciate it.
commend you on that. And your grandfather is also involved with that as
Yeah,
well.
he's our producer, Opa. He's a fan favorite, I might add. He yeah, his birthday was 2 days ago, so he got a lot of Facebook love and a lot of love on YouTube, so that's always good to see.
Okay, good. So you, how long have you had the podcast now?
I think our 3-year birthday was for the channel was I don't know, a couple months ago, maybe. So 3 years, around 3 years, I would say.
And you seem to cover the things that are questionable, so to speak, in the mainstream snooze. So,
Yeah, I have a great co-host, Jake Grant. So how it all started was my dad, he was very well known in the conspiracy circle, and he died due to the COVID. He didn't die of COVID, but he died at the hospital because of all their experimentation and their Nazi-like, I'll keep it censored for YouTube since it's going to go on YouTube, but he was murdered at the hospital, and the day he died, my mom was heartbroken. And as a man, I was like, we got to do something. We got to carry on. We got to just show them that we're stronger than they are. So I decided let's start our own thing. Let's make our own thing. And my mom was on board, and she, I guess my way of grieving things is creativity. Whether that be, in the past when I was a kid, a breakup or losing a friend or whatever, that's when creativity seems to come out of me. And I just came up with this idea, and my mom was like, "Yeah, go for it." So that's
yeah,
that's how it all started.
creativity helps me also, and um, I I'm an artist for a living currently. Who knows what tomorrow will bring, but um, it is a way of connecting with spirit. I find for myself is that I let spirit flow through me, through the art, and speak to others that way. And you're doing that. I guess you did that in your music as well, but now you've turned it into something that more people can be a part of and just listen to you. And you're talking about truth, and you also have this incredible conference that you're putting together called TrutherCon. Is that the name of it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's truth or con. So I had this crazy idea about, so all these people have like different conferences and festivals and all these, but they're always niche. I don't know if that's the right word. They're all like very centered around one thing, like a flat Earth conference, or whatever alien conference or whatever. And I was like, it'd be awesome if there was like just everybody, like just the truther as a whole, in Dallas, where the first time the word conspiracy theory was ever used to demonize people. which was Dallas and what happened to JFK. And anybody who questioned the official narrative was labeled a conspiracy theorist. So let's call it Truth or Con. And so that was my idea. And we were in Panama City Beach, Florida. Me, my co-host, my wife, and his wife. And we were just sitting there, and he's like, "Dude, that's a great idea. We should do that." But you know, I didn't know that I didn't have any plans on doing this until he was like, "Let's do it." Like I had already given the idea to several people, like, "Hey, I have this idea, but I would never do it." But then we started doing it, and we started getting all these like well-known people to, you know, come, and they're all going to come, and it's going to be pretty epic. It's going to be in Dallas, October 25th and 26th, and yeah, we're even going to have a really well-known performer, Bryson Gray, who's a rapper. He's going to be there, and it's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah, I can't wait. So I applied for a vendor's booth, so I hope to be there too. I will be there. So, and then you're going to be presenting at our Sky Pony Gallery in Plano, Texas, at my event called the Mad Tinfoil Hatter. And so I I am the Mad Tinfoil Hatter. I'm proud of it because I've been labeled a conspiracy theorist all my life, and I do not care anymore. You know, you reach the point where I don't care. I'm going to tell the truth the way I see it, and not the way that the lamestream snooze puts this blanket over the public's eyes and convinces them. And exactly, you know, if you look, it's usually whatever they're saying, you can pretty much bet that it's 180 degrees the opposite. So you get your clues by what they're talking about, and then think the opposite, and then start digging and find out um, what the truth is behind every rabbit hole that you go down. And there's many rabbit holes, and they go all over the world. And it's great that you put this truther con together, and we're gonna talk some truth trash. So
Yeah.
good
So
for you to
how
get
did
that
you
together.
how did you come up with the idea for the Temple of Hatters? Because I think that's pretty cool because it's like it kind of feels like it's a secret society, but it's an anti-secret society.
I'll show you. Just hang on. So this is my Mad Tinfoil hat, and I wear it proudly. So how did I come up with the idea? So I was married to another man for a period of time, and so he had a hard time understanding aerosol spraying, so to speak, of those lines in the sky. And he would get pretty upset with me to the point where he would scream, "Don't look up." There's even a movie called Don't Look Up. And that came out not too long ago, but yeah. So that, and during the 9/11, I was already awake before 9/11 during the burning of the Branch Davidians roasting in Waco, Texas by
They're
the
friends of
feds.
mine. I was the only media allowed at on the 30th anniversary, which was a blessing. So yeah, that whole thing, man, in front of everybody.
Hmm. And that completely shook me awake. And I started digging ever since. And so I was already awake when 9/11 happened. And then a lot of people in my circle refused to look at information, um, you know, just by questioning the narrative. And so that, you know, being called a conspiracy theorist, it used to bother me and enrage me. But now I had the idea of starting the Mad Tinfoil Hatters, and I had to put mad in there because Yeah, I had to get mad before I finally got my voice and was able to speak it with the truth that I find instead of going along with the sheep and over the cliff, basically. So, and how about you? What was your first awakening?
I
Was
mean,
it?
I grew up in the household of two proud conspiracy theorists, and I was always taught not to, you know, don't believe everything you see because it's not exactly as you see it. And I always kind of question everything. And, I don't know if I got that from my mom or, it was just always talked about in my household that 9/11 was an inside job and, you know, everything. Like you got to look into Bush, you got to look into everything. And so it just I know the one thing that really like kind of because there was a point where I was like, why does it even matter? Like it doesn't even matter if we live on a ball or for we live on a flat surface. Like why does it matter to me? Well, it does matter because if they can lie to us about landing on the moon, why can't they lie to us about the shape of the Earth or who shot JFK or anything else? So it just kind of, I mean, you have to question everything. If you don't, you're almost you would be ignorant not to. I mean, you can't just follow what the mainstream, what they tell you to do because it's just not the correct, you're going to be led down the wrong rabbit hole, especially when it comes to you know, things like that where it gets, they're injecting you with stuff. It's just not a good thing.
Yes, very important, especially changing DNA and becoming something that you're not. So,
Yeah,
yes,
my dad questioned, he was one of if you look up his name, it'll say anti-V word vaxxer dies of COVID-19. And that, like, I've sent cease and desist letters to those people because he didn't die of that. I think he was targeted because I had my job after he died was to go on his computer and collect every open tab on his computer and they were all about exposing the C word, all about exposing it. And that's what he was doing. And he was very outspoken. And then I believe that they killed him, but that's my personal opinion. That was my mom's opinion. And she wrote a whole book about it, the protocol that kills. And I think that really is what, you know, ended up taking her was the loss of my dad. So I kind of blame them for both the murder of my father and the death of my mother.
um, I can see your motivation behind Skiba News Nation, and it's wonderful that your grandfather got involved too. And together, with your other friend Jake, I haven't met him yet, but I'm anxious to meet you all at Sky Pony when you present on the 16th next weekend. So that's coming right up, and um, I'm very passionate and sorry for your loss. And I've had family members too that were taken, and also friends, husband, and etc. I mean, the list goes on about what happened during all that. So it's good that you carried on in your dad's name and you're making a name for yourself and for Skiba. So thank you for that because we need so much, um, so many people like you to. It's admirable for you to be brave because you know what you're getting into, and it's a hornet's nest, and you are stirring it up. So, but you do keep your show light. I will have to say that you have ways of lighting it up as
Well,
far
yeah,
as
there's no need to. I mean, I feel like laughter is probably one of the most important things to like. You can't take it too seriously, even though it is very serious. It's kind of like you have to offset it with humor or with, like I don't know. I'd be a very depressed person if I couldn't take a step back and laugh at myself or find a comedian funny. Turning on a Norm Macdonald video of a compilation of his comedy or just, just stuff I find funny and I just put it on there on the show and people seem to like it. So
yeah.
I think it's important to build community because it's not it's I wanted the show to not be about me. It's about everybody that's watching it. I want it to be, I want it to matter to them and to feel like they're a part of a community that listens to them and that thinks like they do. And, I feel like that's very important in today's society because one thing my dad always wanted to do was reach my generation, and it comes full circle because that's the people that we're reaching with our show. And they're finding his work through our show, which is awesome, which was the plan kind of all along. It's been my secret plan, but
Oh, yeah, it's important to reach all generations and especially your generation and ones coming up behind you. So um, kudos for that. And you keep right on top of the current, I'd say, tinfoil hat subjects of the week. I admire you for that. And thank you for being a speaker very soon at the Mad Tinfoil Hatters. That's going to open up your audience even further. So, um,
well, I have a presentation just especially for that event, and my TrutherCon one will be different. But this one is more like um, I don't want to give it away, but it'll have people thinking about what they really believe, like just lies in general of it could just be about one person, but why does that one person matter if they lied to you about this person? It'll be about Charles Manson. I'll say that.
give
And
it away.
but it's not hold on my camera. Uh Charles Manson, it's something as crazy as that. And that's my little preview is that it'll blow your mind about what really happened and some of the evidence that I've come up with and that I've interviewed probably the foremost expert, Tom O'Neill. He was on the show and he's a good friend of mine. And he
Okay,
spent
not too
20
much
years.
now.
Yeah, I won't give anything away. But
Yeah, that's great though. That's a teaser though, for sure. So, yeah, yeah, and it's a subject that not not too many will be brave enough to bite the head off that bat,
yeah,
so to speak. Oh, well, that's cool. I can't wait to hear. And then, so besides the Truther Con, do you have any other irons in the fire that you want to talk about here?
trying to think. Um,
I know you're really involved with putting that conference together. You want
yeah,
to,
that's like 100% of my, well, 50%, and then the other 50% is the show because we have a premiere every Friday at 4:44 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then we go live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and so juggling that with this conference is it's it's uh it's definitely a full-time job, but it's a fun full-time job. It's not something that I look at as work. It's more fun and that's always been my like I always wanted to do something for fun, for work. Like I don't want to ever see what I do as work. So it's always fun doing different things and thinking outside the box and how I can, how the next show goes or how the conference goes or, you know, just whatever it is that I do. So
Yeah, that's, I'm the same way. You gotta love what you do, and then it'll never be work. So, and then people feel that energy and then want to get in the party too. So, do you have a location yet for the conference?
Yes, it's called Social A. It's a Dallas venue. It's right by Southwest Airlines, or right by Love Field, which is kind of ironic because my what my topic is going to be when I speak at Truth or Con is where the fatal shot came from that killed JFK, and the significance of why it's close to Love Field is, did you know that there's only, I don't know, a couple presidents. And in the last 50 years, there's only been one president that has taken the oath of office, not at Washington, D.C., and that was Lyndon Baines Johnson took his oath on the tarmac of Love Field Airport. So it's kind of crazy that it's just right there. And yeah, we wanted to have it in Dallas because that was the first time the word conspiracy theorist was used to demonize people and yeah, I think I'm hoping it'll open a lot of eyes to show that you know, just this whole mainstream narrative is all bullshit. I don't know if I can say that, but it's all bullshit.
Yes, you can say that. And have you ever noticed, like in the city of Dallas, like we've got the center where JFK was killed, and then encircling the city is what we call different roads. It's called Loop 12, which was turned into um, um, LBJ,
Hmm.
that circle in circles all the way around Dallas. And then we've got another circle around Dallas, which is called President George Bush Freeway.
Yep.
So, and that is a wider circle around the city. So you just think about that visually. And then downtown Dallas, we also have those magnificent pyramid buildings, shaped buildings that are very close within eyesight of where JFK was shot too. So there's so many visuals where it's like um, you know, they came in, they took over the country, and they encircled it and planted their flag with their big pyramid building.
Yep.
So,
Yep, that's
and
exactly what they did, and they were all there. I mean, W
mhm,
was allegedly there, and so was LBJ. So it's like they're kind of mocking us in front of us.
I've seen pictures of um, Bush Jr. leaning against the wall of the right underneath the school depository where the supposed shot came from, the window, which was impossible for the angle that the back of his head was blown off,
Hmm.
um, and then shortly, down from him, leaning against the wall was, oh, I'm sorry, that was Senior that I was referring to. So shortly, uh, a few feet down was pictures of George Bush Jr. Being there too. So they were both there. Junior was young, probably in his early 20s or maybe even a teenager at the time, but I don't know his age at the time that it happened, but you could tell that you could definitely tell that they were there for the show in the prime location of where the show was going to be. So there's so much there. And we've covered that in the Mad Tinfoil Hatters as well. And we'll continue because it's a subject that just like 9/11 that changed our society, our laws, etc., and affected the whole nation. So it's those turning points that we have to watch for and scrutinize and pick apart, because we can't just be helpless and sit back and watch the news and say, oh, well, and then go to sleep, ready for the next day, But we do have to just have our voice and let others know what the truth is. And so I do admire you for your show, and thank you for starting it, because it entertains me, as well as, piques my interest to do my own investigating.
Well,
So,
thank you for watching.
yes, and I hope more people watch too, Skiba News Nation. And then I hope you come to Sky Pony Gallery to see Skiba in person speak on a very unusual subject. So he just let that loose, what that's going to be, but it's going to be an interesting subject for sure. And so will TrutherCon. Looking very much to TrutherCon. And you want to mention some of the speakers that are going to be there? Some of the ones that are
Yeah,
top of your head? Or?
we got Dave Weiss, also known as Flat Earth Dave. We have Lucas Cameron, who's been on Doomsday Prepper, but he has his own YouTube channel now. We have Josh Keefe, Unplug 'em, who wasn't deep in the music industry and will expose all of that. Me, and then there's Kay Podgy. I'm trying to remember all the names. She's TikTok, like she's very well known about breaking stuff apart and really exposing the truth. And I don't want to miss anybody. Josh Keefe, founded Earth Brothers, is going to be there too. So hopefully I got everybody in there. And then we'll have Bryson Gray be performing, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it will be. And you can see, you have a link on your website, Skiba News Nation, and you have the link to the TrutherCon and the speakers there.
Yeah, if you go to truthercon.com, TRUTHERCON.com, you can find just everything, like where everything is, who's speaking, and where it's going to be, where it is, and how you can get your tickets and stuff like that. But there are going to be a lot of cool perks and a lot of cool. It's gonna. I keep saying it's gonna be epic, but it really is. It's forming into something that was way beyond my imagination. So
Congratulations for putting a great show together, and I'm excited to be coming to that. And thank you for your time today.
thank you for having me.
We'll see you Saturday at Sky Pony Gallery in Plano, Texas.
Looking forward to it. I gotta practice my speech.
Okay. Well,
All right.
we'll see you. Take care.
Thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Something huge is coming. We're building the world's largest truther convention. It's called TrutherCon.
This is the place where truthers unite to explore knowledge, ask tough questions, to challenge the mainstream narrative.
But it isn't just a convention. It's a movement for free thought, open discussion, and the right to question everything.
We are bringing in some of the biggest names of the truther community, so expect deep discussions, mind-blowing revelations, and connections with like-minded truth seekers.
If you feel like the truth is being hidden from you, this is where you need to be.
And the best part, it's 100% grassroots, built by truthers for truthers, straight from our Skiba News Nation family. TrutherCon will be a massive networking event. I believe this is going to be the most exciting truther event ever.
October 2025 in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see you there.
They built a system to keep you asleep, to censor, track, and silence you. But not everyone stayed quiet. This October, the awake assemble. TrutherCon 2025. Meet the voices they tried to erase. Learn what they buried. Connect with those who see the war behind the curtain. Truth is not a theory, it's a weapon.